Hi sisters, welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are ya? Yes, in today's video, we are driving.
Surprising our buddy.
Yeah, kind of. We recently kind of had a fishing trip, and when things started to kind of reopen here in Denver, Lakewood area, we went on a fishing trip before I had broken my foot, and our buddy left his handicap sticker in our car, and so we're gonna go give it back today. I do want to speak about something a little heavy. I said in a video a couple days ago that my grandpa had passed away on May 11th. And of course everyone is still processing. But I want to honor his legacy, and I want to honor him, and I want to, if we seep into other stories, we seep into other stories. If we just talk entirely about our grandpa Wickland this entire time, that's a whole nother thing. I just want to be able to tell stories to kind of live his legacy and kind of go through with my brother and I, like, how our grandpa's affected us, and like things we remember, and little things like inside jokes that you guys are now gonna know about because they're in our videos.
Oh, that person's button.
What? Such as that. So since you wanted to start it off, let's go.
Damn, that person.
What? You wanna know what?
Okay, so that's a little inside joke.
You wanna know what?
When we were moving from our old house, and Frankie was always helping us move. If you guys don't know who that is,
They know who Frankie is. Just keep going.
Anyway, my buddy Frankie would always help us move. Well, one day we were moving, and we were moving a bunch of stuff, and Frankie looked at my grandpa and said, "Can I come over to the house and play Madden with Sean?" And my grandpa heard what he said, but like he didn't hear it. Like he processed that Frankie just said something,
but he didn't hear what Frankie said.
So he looks at me, he looks at Frankie, he looks to the left, and he looks back at Frankie and goes,
"You wanna what?"
Yeah, he goes, yeah, he was like, "You wanna what?" and like, it's just a little inside joke with me and Frankie because it was funnier than hell.
And like my grandpa, he was supposed to wear hearing aids, never did.
Nope.
So it was like his phrase, like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know what? And so now it's just like a running inside joke. Whenever we didn't hear someone say something, or we're just being sarcastic with each other. And I love how it is continuously kind of a running joke. And I hope we never, I don't say we're ever gonna lose it, but like I hope it's still a source of like, oh my god, like that's so funny, like that was an amazing, whatever. I kind of want to talk about my grandpa's struggles with teaching me how to fish. I remember one fishing trip that my grandpa and I went to. My grandpa was teaching me how to fish like right at the height of the first live action Scooby-Doo movie. And so my grandpa ended up giving me a Scooby-Doo fishing pole. I believe it had the whole cast on it. I believe it had Daphne, Scooby, Fred, Velma, Shaggy, you know, Scooby-Doo cast. And this was right around the time, I think, where I'd run around our neighborhood where we grew up by and tell people, "I'm Daphne or Velma today." And I'd want everyone to call me Daphne or everyone to call me Velma. Damn, I've been trans for a long time. Anyway, my grandpa and I went to the fishing spot. There, at the time, his spot was like this weird secluded island thing. And so we were sitting on kind of that island place, and we were like, like trying to fish. I did not have patience for fishing. Like, it was not even 30 minutes in. We hadn't gotten a bite. Like, apparently it was a slow day. According to my grandpa at the time. I hadn't gotten a bite, and I got frustrated. 30 minutes in. Probably was only 10 minutes in, but like as a child, it was like 30 minutes in. Got frustrated. I'm like, Grandpa, I want to go. Fishing isn't fun to me. Da 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 da. And so Grandpa, wanting to keep me happy, let me go home. And
goddamn Burger King.
Yeah, what happened at Burger King? There's like a shit ton of cop cars. And so what? So we left. Just stupid. We left, and I think Grandpa went back and caught some more fish. But like, I wouldn't know. And to kind of bring this story full circle, my grandpa, Sean, was going through some of the tackle boxes and the fishing boxes and stuff. Because my brother was Grandpa's little fisher. And so I remembered the Scooby-Doo fishing pole, which I guarantee Grandpa got rid of. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna find that thing
unless
again.
he, like, what he could have done, he could have ripped the reeling part off and put one of the ice fishing reels on and made it an ice fishing pole, because he has a bunch of like little tiny ones in the shop.
Okay. Anyway. I thought for a second, is that a Yancy? You dead ass. Sean brought over like an old fishing box that was my grandpa's, and he told me to look inside it. I struggled to open it. Clearly I was not the one who was fishing. And inside it was a little mini Scooby-Doo tackle box. Fishing box?
Tackle box.
Tackle box.
The big one you opened was a tackle box, but Grandpa had a little Scooby-Doo tackle box in it.
And it has like the 2001 Scooby-Doo era live action movie on it. It has Scooby on it. It's a gorgeous tackle box that I did not remember having ever. So it was it's pretty cool, to say the very least. That I still have something to remember those times in physical form. Even though I definitely was not Grandpa's fisher. Didn't you have a Spider-Man pole?
Yeah, I'll get to that story here in a hot second.
Okay, go ahead.
Go, dude, Mike. Me in the future. For real, I want one so bad. Even though that Grandpa told me not to, but...
Yeah, tell that story since it's relevant right now.
Well, the fishing one's relevant. I want to tell
Okay.
Okay, so... There's a thing, if you're not a fisher, if you don't go fishing, there's a thing called pole holders, where you put it in the dirt and it holds your pole pretty much. Well, I was little, I was young, I was like 5 or 6, and Grandpa bought me a Spider-Man fishing pole because that was my shit. Spider-Man was, you know,
Scooby-Doo was my shit, Spider-Man was Sean's shit.
Yeah.
Sean still is like biased towards Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You really like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man.
Not even the first.
I just think he's hot. That's why.
Anyway, Grandpa doesn't have me a pole holder. He has himself 2 and me none. So there's 2 big ass rocks, and Grandpa's like, we'll just, you know, put them between those and it will hold the pole. Okay, we did this like a million times, and we're fishing. Now, I can't remember what I'm doing. I think I went and started talking to somebody, to be honest, because I was a talker. I love talking to anybody who was there at the lake. Like, I was like, hey, how are you? My name's... Like, you know, little kid things. And, I
want to make a joke about Jeremy, but that's inappropriate.
Those dogs are like fucking.
Oh yeah, those dogs are trying to fuck.
But
anyway.
So, you know, I'm like, okay, whatever, as a little kid. Like I said, I think I was talking to somebody, I'm not too sure. But all of a sudden, I turn around because Grandpa's like, oh, you know how Grandpa was.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And my pole got pulled into the water. So as little Sean as I am, I start fucking bawling. Like, I was like, Grandpa, you don't have to buy me a new fishing pole. And, you know.
You were all heartbroken.
Yeah,
I can see you crying.
Fucking crying. Well, Grandpa's like, don't worry, Sonny. You know how he would be. Sonny,
Yeah.
Sonny.
Don't worry, Sonny.
Well, Grandpa reels in one of his lines. Casts back out. Nothing. Reels back in. Cast back out. Nothing. Reels back in. Cast out. He's reeling back in. And all of a sudden, my fishing pole's on shore. And since he couldn't reel his pole anymore, he grabbed mine and started reeling. And no, he didn't. He actually reeled it in my pole and then kept on reeling. Yeah, he kept on reeling, and my pole was on shore. My pole was coming up, and at the end of my hook, the damn fish was still on. And I was the happiest kid alive then because I got the fish and my pole back.
You got the fish and your pole.
And I'll never forget that. And that's the story I love telling about Grandpa and I going fishing, even though I have so many more. But that's always been...
It's about a 30-minute drive to Germany. So.
Yeah. That's always been like the one with sticks. And like, you can outfish my grandpa. You can eat fish.
You should probably get over.
But, yeah, hold on. You don't want me to get through. Okay, no, okay.
Go then, you little bitch.
So, anyway, you could out-eat my grandpa and fish, you could out-fish him. But no, I feel like there's been a few people who's done that. But as a little kid, that made me, and still to this day, call my grandpa the best damn fisherman there will ever be, because the chances of that happening and the chances of somebody getting your pole back is very slim. And if I had a grandchild and that happened, well, we'll be going to Walmart and getting you a new pole, Sonny, because there's no damn way I could do that. And I'll never forget that. It was just great and legendary.
That is pretty great.
Yeah.
So the next story I want to tell is a little bit more of a touchy? Not touchy. But I feel like Sean has a couple stories like this as well. And Sean definitely has more stories with my grandpa than I do. So Sean might have to take a couple in a row. But the one that I'm going to tell right now is about my grandpa and high school and me. Because I came out in like the summer before freshman year. I was openly gay to everyone. Grandma and Grandpa Garra, Grandma and Grandpa Wickland, my brother, and then the rest of my family. And then I went back to school and just was like, I'm fucking gay, bitch! And like, really, y'all know my high school story. I got really popular. I was friends with all the girls, all the cheerleaders, and my grandpa would pick me up from school from time to time. And every single time I would walk out of the school, of course I'd be with a friend. Like, I wasn't a loser. I wasn't walking out by myself at that point. And I was just talking to my friends, and 99.5% of the time, it was a girlfriend. Like, a girl that was a friend.
Yeah.
It was one of my sisters. And I got in the car, the truck, every single time, and Grandpa would go, is that your girlfriend, Sonny? And I'd be like, no, it's not my girlfriend. Because, you should make her your girlfriend. And I'm like, no. And there were a lot of, like, really awkward, like, silent rides home from school after I came out. Because Grandpa would always ask, is that your girlfriend? And I just got irritated about it. One day at school, I had a particularly bad day. I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened. All I remember is it was like a bad day. And so I got in the truck, and I had walked out with, I think, Jasmine or Mila. At the time, I was still friends with them. And Grandpa goes, "Oh, is that your girlfriend, Sonny?" And I was like, "No, Grandpa, they're never gonna be my girlfriends. They're not my girlfriends." And he goes, "Well, why is that, Sonny?" And I'm like, "'Cause I'm gay, Grandpa. Like, I don't like girls like that." Like, he goes, "That doesn't mean you can't make them your girlfriend, Sonny." And I'm like, "In the way that you want me to make them my girlfriend, Grandpa, yeah."
Oh, fuck.
And like, my grandpa, both grandpas, were pretty good at just bullshitting you.
Yeah.
And so, looking back now, I realize Grandpa was just bullshitting me. Grandpa was just trying to be like, "Ah, is that your girlfriend?" Because he knew it irritated me.
Yeah.
And I guess in high school I was an angsty teenager, and I never caught on to the fact that, like, I could have just shut him up and been like, "Yeah, I fucked her behind the..."
Yeah.
Like, at that time I didn't have, like, the type of boom, boom, boom that I have now. You better stop, sis. Oh, real quick, since we're at that story. Real quick, since I'm kind of, something just popped into my head and I'll forget it. On our way home from school, from Bear Creek High School, we would have to go up Kipling, and at Kipling and Jewel, there's this horrible stoplight. Grandpa would always, every single fucking day, from the time I was at Westgate to the time I graduated, would always get stopped at that stupid light.
Yep.
Turning.
Yep.
It irritated the shit out of me. It was like a miracle when Grandpa made it through that light. I was always like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is happening today?" Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
When Grandpa would make it through that light.
Would he pick the left lane and then race him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shh. Yeah, Grandpa did that all the time. Alright, so.
Go ahead. You can tell Tuna Rona.
Alright, so to Jason getting picked up to school, from school, my turn. So no matter what grade I was in, I mean, like, I could be in first grade or, you know, whatever. But in high school, I think it was the best of times.
Raceman.
God damn. Anyway. Grandpa wouldn't say, "Is that your girlfriend?" Like, because I didn't hang out with, like, the girls or anything. I just hung out with my buddies and shit.
Yeah,
And
you're not really, like, friends with any girls besides one, and she's a fucking flirt.
Yeah. Well, I'm more than one now, but anyway, I was like,
more than one now? Are they all your girlfriends, Sonny?
no. But anyway, Grandpa, I'd get in the truck and, you know, he'd let me put my bag down. And sometimes he wouldn't even let me put my bag down. He'd look at me and say, was she there today, Sonny? And I'd look at him and I'd be like, "Grandpa, I don't have a girlfriend. Like, I wish, but I don't have a girlfriend." And he would look at me and be like, "You wouldn't BS old Grandpa, would you?" And then, like, he said it all the time.
"You wouldn't BS old Gramp now, would you?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Grandpa, I wouldn't BS you." He goes, yeah. Like, you know, he was trying to add on.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll never forget that because, like, once I started driving, or once he developed the cancer and he wasn't picking me up, like, I started, like, it was weird because, like, Dad never said anything. Like, he'd just be like, "How's your day?" Like, I'd be like, "Good," or, you know. And a lot of it, like, when, like, I can admit, when you picked me up and Dad, I was snippy. Like, I was never, like, sometimes.
Oh yeah, we can go watch old Drive With Me's.
Yeah.
You stopped being snippy when Coco would pick you up.
Yeah. I'd be snippy, but, like, every time Grandpa picked me up, I would never be snippy, and I don't know why. Like, I wonder if it's because he always
Grandpa
started.
would make you laugh.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if it's because he always started it out with,
Was she there today, Sonny?
No, Grandpa, I don't have a girlfriend. "You want to BS old Grandpa, would you?" Like, that just puts a smile on my face. And, like, I'll never forget that. Like, when I get in my truck now, it's like, huh, I wonder if he'd say that to me if I was just driving, or, like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's done be dearly missed. So
I'll annoy you with it.
yeah. So that's 2 stories. And now you want me to do...
When you and I start going clubbing together, we'll get in the truck after a long night and I'll go, "Was she there, honey?"
And, alright, another story. Damn, there's so many.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
the first time I cussed in front of Grandpa. I got the permission to.
Oh!
Alright. Summer of 2016 or 17. I can't remember.
16.
Yeah. I broke my leg. Well, the day of the leg breaking, we're driving. So we're in Minnesota, so this shit's like a drive.
Side note. The only reason I know it was 16 is because I left like a week before you broke your leg. It was supposed to be like my last summer in Minnesota because I had graduated.
Yeah.
And the day that I got picked up by Auntie and Stephanie, Auntie and Stephanie both had like a moment in the car because the pulse shooting happened the night before. Anyway.
Anywho. Grandpa, so Grandpa and Grandma, their first decision is to take me to this place called Battle Lake. It's maybe like, you know, I'd say 15 minutes away from where we are. So smart decision. The ER's there. We get there, and the Battle Lake ER's closed. So
This is the day you broke your leg.
yeah, the day I broke my leg on a Sunday, they were
Oh
closed.
yeah, they were in the church praying. They were going, "Oh, praise Jesus, the lights are going to come on in the doctor's office
So, you
tomorrow."
know, Grandpa's like, "Oh, we gotta go to Fergus now," and it's like a 45 minute to 50-minute drive.
From Battle Lake.
From Battle Lake. If we would have left from where we were, it would have been 30 minutes.
But still, that's funny as shit.
So, we're... Slug bug. It's funny.
Oh my god!
This story involves
It's a
slug bug.
sign.
So anyway...
Damn, that is a sign.
We're driving to Fergus Falls, and I can't remember where we are, but we're on a road where it's, you know, where one car goes this way, one goes this way. Well, no, one goes this way, one goes this way.
Yeah, it's like a...
And
It's a country road.
yeah. And we're driving, and there's a car in front of Grandpa, and there's a slug bug.
In front of that car.
Yeah, in front of the car. It's a red slug bug. And
The one in front of us is like a dusty old yellow
yeah.
slug bug.
So anyway, Grandpa's like driving, and you know, I'm getting mad because my leg is like in
Throbbing.
so much pain. And I look at Grandpa and I go, "Grandpa, can I cuss?" And he was like, "Sure." Like, you know,
Yep.
yeah, he didn't like care. He was like, "Go for it." And I was like, "This motherfucker is pissing me off." And I looked at Grandpa and I was like, "If I had a monster truck, I'd run this son of a bitch over and fuck this." And then Grandpa was like, "Okay, that's enough."
Okay, that's enough now, honey.
But the whole time I was cussing, he was laughing. I'll never forget it. 'Cause he, you know, when he would laugh, sometimes he'd like have his tongue like, you know.
Yeah.
And he was laughing, and like, I'll never forget that because like I think it shocked him, but you know he thought it was the funniest shit ever. Because why not? Like,
Right.
it was kind of funny.
That is funny as shit. Ooh, honk, Jimmy's standing out there. Hi, sister. Come here. It's a stop by.
But yeah, that.
We figured you might want this.
What's up, sister? Thank you,
Hi,
sister.
sister. We figured you
So-
might want that.
Thank you. What you guys up to?
We're just getting out of the house right now, telling the stories.
Oh yeah. How you guys doing?
Okay. Hanging in there.
Yeah, I believe it. This pimple right here.
I know, it really hurts. I'm getting one right here too, and I don't know what I did.
I have one right fucking here that hurts.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Yeah. Did you work today or no?
No, I'm on bereavement leave for 3 days.
For 3 days. Good.
Yeah.
What you up to, young buck? Just working again or what?
Schoolwork.
Schoolwork?
And like, you know, I wasn't emotional until like I saw you, so like, yeah.
I wasn't expecting anybody to stop by. I just came up here to fucking close my windows. I've been cleaning my car today. Fucking gonna get that shit driving.
Yeah.
Did you swallow a dick? Like, what's up with your voice?
I was smoking, that's why.
Oh!
What the fuck?
Yeah. They have a train track right through here,
I
fam.
don't know that, but like, it should be a train, not a fucking.
They're servicing the railroad right now. That's
Oh,
what that's
damn.
going on.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm really
You should come
stoned.
over tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What
Yeah.
time?
I don't care. We can come pick you up whenever.
I gotta mow Dad's lawn at some point.
We'll do that. I don't know when.
Maybe I'll just mow their lawn and come down and get you.
Alright, that sounds good. Just let me know what time.
I'll text you.
Alright.
There's a little rumor going around that I might be able to go to Minnesota for a week.
Hey, that'd be good.
The only condition that is being brought to him at this point is he has to go to 7 guaranteed drag shows with me. And he's agreed to it, so he's fine.
So which ones is he going to then?
I mean, he'll have to wait till he turns 21, but like,
well, yeah.
we've already shooked on it. There's 7 guaranteed. I don't know what,
It's
because
worth
it's
the
4 years
Minnesota
from
trip.
now.
So,
But-
but when he turns 21, we definitely...
We have a DD.
That, I mean, I want to ruin that chance.
And I'm
but
gonna be a hot, sexy woman with a pussy.
when he turns, the day he turns 21, we're taking him to a strip club.
Okay.
Flat
I can
out.
do that when I'm 18.
It's better when you're at a strip club 21 and drunk.
Yeah, I'll DD. I'll sit in the car and wait for you guys, because
No,
I
you
really
gotta
don't.
go in.
I'm a girl.
Bro, Natalia did it.
I'll be sitting there like just
Bro,
eating
look at
my
fucking
fries.
shoulders, dude.
Oh shit!
Oh my
Well,
God.
I didn't even peel that bad because I got a T-shirt. You were with us.
I know, but look how bad.
Jesus!
It hurts. It still hurts.
God damn.
Oh, Sean, the first day he told me about it, I went, oh, that's so bad.
Bro, it hurts so
Dude,
fucking.
I'm punching you in the face.
No, I was so
You're like
mad.
right here.
I told him now if he pisses me off, I'll kick him in his foot. But
Yeah,
I probably
my
won't
foot
do that.
hurts.
You
So
can still
bad.
kick him in the cunt.
I really would love to be kicked in the cunt right about now.
Well, yeah, I want to see how that feels to you. If,
Oh, dead ass. Once I'm healed, give it a year and then someone can just straight up kick me there.
all right, bet.
But we were talking about me, like, I might drive up there.
Drive?
Yeah.
Are you doing it by yourself or
He'd be
you
by
sure?
himself.
Well, it's 13 hours. It's not that
I did it
far.
by myself too. And if I can do it, he can
I
definitely do it.
mean, just drink fucking 5-hour energies, dude.
Yeah. And
I
I'd
just
let
had
him,
Mountain Dew and muffin and God.
yeah. I'd let
Well, you're the one who wrecked your car
Yeah, I
too,
did.
in the process.
Yeah.
I'd let everyone know where I am, and if I had to stop, I would.
Yeah, no one knew where I was until I was in Nebraska.
All right,
If I'm able to go. Somebody's calling me.
Alrighty.
all right.
Hold on, Dad's calling me.
Hello, Poppy.
Hello.
What has he got? His AirPod in?
Yeah. More and more people are just driving with their AirPod in, so like Sean's just
Yeah,
started
well,
doing
it's
it
up.
too.
Are you at the house now
I
or
mean,
what?
the AirPods are more convenient.
They're really convenient. I love them.
Okay. What could I do at the house for you? Well, I'm all the way at Jeremy's, that's why I'm asking. Okay. Well, I'll be there in the morning to mow lawn.
So anyway.
Alrighty. Alright, love you. Bye bye. Alright, anyway.
What did he want?
He wanted us to meet him at the house because he had a seizure at JT's, but I told him we're here until. Never mind then.
I mean, how much gas you got?
Half
Enough,
tank.
but like,
Tank. But that's still a far drive from here, though.
yeah, I mean, we really don't want to go up there. There's nothing we can do.
Not really.
Oh.
necessarily.
And like, you know how I was did I ever show you the tattoo idea I have?
What tattoo? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know how, like, all the writing has says, I'm glad you taught me everything. Okay, so Jason was like, alright, I'm gonna turn the truck off. You know, we should have thought about this. We might be here for a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
You wanna turn the camera off?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say,
Camera's on.
yeah, I was
Good
gonna say,
content.
You wanna sit on the tailgate? That's what I was gonna ask.
Oh,
Fucking camera.
not really.
Well, I want to.
Damn.
So let's go sit on the tailgate.
I can't really move, that's why.
Yeah, you can.
BRB.
You'll walk.
I've literally had sex with a guy, and then as he's zipping up his pants, he looked at me and said, "I'm not gay though."
Wow, we're done!
I don't care. care what you are.
Is the video on?
I
Yeah.
got what I wanted. We're done here. I've literally had sex.
We're done. It's dark now.
Yeah, we hung out for a little bit.
Like an hour.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's cool though.
Coronavirus!
Usually, like, I've noticed
Coronavirus!
I don't know. I've noticed every time we've had somebody who passes away, we go hang out with people. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, it was your story turn.
Go ahead.
Another one, 3 years in a row.
Yeah, because I need a moment to think now.
Okay.
I'm high. I'm joking.
Not even.
I'm joking. Yeah, I need a moment.
Just think.
What stories did I tell?
Bro, that fucking candy, by the way.
Was so fucking disgusting.
Like,
Like, I love Louisa to bits, but like, fuck that.
yeah, it didn't taste good.
That was
I just ate it because, you know.
you're cordial.
Yeah.
Instead of me being like, no, Louisa, this is gross.
Check them out.
Did you, what was I gonna say? Do you still have the other, like, earrings?
Yeah, maybe somewhere. Let's look.
You should find them. Anyway,
Anyway.
came up with a story, I guess. My grandpa, the day we went and got my current car, my Mitsubishi Mirage, that I love to death, and it's like, I still love that car, even though I'm sick of it and I kind of want to get a new one. That's just me being fickle and wanting new everything. But the car is great. At times. My grandpa, I remember he went to, like, with us to go get my Mitsubishi Mirage. And I remember he was like, because the salesperson was like, okay, we're gonna test drive it. And I was like, well, I didn't bring my license, so. And my grandpa looked at me and was like, you didn't bring your license? How fucking stupid can you be?
Did
And
you
I was
really say that?
yeah, he was like, how dumb can you be? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. If I would have brought my license and was able to test drive the Mirage, I probably wouldn't have got it. But that's a different story. It just doesn't have a lot of speed.
Another favorite part about Grandpa is when he'd be like, ah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he would basically, yeah, that's what he said. Ah, Jesus Christ. When I was like, I didn't bring my license.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. And I was like, sorry.
Or he'd be like, God damn it.
God damn it. Oh, you know you were in trouble or you really ticked him off when he would go, ah, Jesus Christ, God damn it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh shit, I really made him mad now.
You said 2 in 1.
Oh, do you remember the time that Grandpa and I almost got into a fight in Minnesota?
Yeah, that was lit.
I barely remember any of it, but like, if you remember more of it, go ahead.
Okay, so this was the day you called Grandma the B word.
Oh, it was the day I called her to her face, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You were like, you fucking bitch.
You're being a fucking bitch.
And I swear, you ran out so fast because Grandpa got up so quick and you ran out and he ran out. And I was sitting there and I looked at Grandma and I was like, oh shit. And like, you ran from Grandpa.
Okay, yeah, Grandpa was scary.
But you were like, I don't want to be fucking here anymore. That's what you said.
Yeah.
And then he chased you.
I don't want to be fucking here anymore. So, on a... So this is kind of a side note. This is more of a grandma story. But do you remember when we were in Minnesota in the camper and you brought in the, we're bringing in Pepsi and you dropped one and it exploded all over the place and got on the ceiling?
No.
That was funny as fuck. I was sitting on the couch, like, minding my own business, and you came in with, like,
Was
soda.
she making us lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You
okay.
came in with soda, and you dropped one, and it just went all over the fucking place. And Grandma went, oh, jeez.
She was was like, oh, jeez.
She was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was so funny. Because then Grandpa came in and Grandpa just kind of lifted her up and went, oh, Jesus Christ.
Grandpa said that a lot.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Let's think.
Do you remember your last fishing trip with Grandpa?
Yeah. In Minnesota.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we were with this guy named Denny Schultz.
Okay.
And
just expose someone.
Yeah.
I know, I'm joking.
We went fishing on his pontoon. And like, I remember they made fun of me because I couldn't catch a big one. I caught 2 little sunnies, but I just couldn't catch the big one. And they kept on catching big ones.
Yeah.
Well, then the fish decided that they liked me more. And I got a big ass bass, and Grandpa was like, there you go, Sonny. And then I got another bite, and it was another big bass. And then like I kept on getting bigger fish than them. And Grandpa looked at Denny and was like, well, we must have jinxed ourselves because we were talking shit. It was so funny. And like, I'll never forget like running back to the boat to get the fish for both of them because they were cleaning them.
Yeah.
And like Denny took a picture of us that day, well, me that day. And stuff.
Damn.
I do wish we got more pictures with Grandpa, but like,
I kind of wish we would get more pictures with both of our both sets of grandparents.
yeah.
It seems like we don't have a lot of pictures with them, but like Grandma and Grandpa never really liked pictures on both sides.
Yeah.
And so like you weren't just gonna be like, okay, you don't like pictures,
Yeah.
let's take some more.
But that was the last time we actually went to Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think I said that already, but if you'd like me to tell that story, I could.
Any stories you want to tell. This is a moment of open storytelling.
Oh, do you want to tell one?
Yeah, one actually came into mind because I went to Minnesota at one point with Grandpa and Sean for a week. And this is when Emma was a really big wrestler. She wasn't Emmalina yet. She was still doing the Emma dance. And I don't know, I was playing wrestling. I was like in my own head of imaginary. And I was sitting there like doing the Emma dance. And Sean had come over and I Emma danced him right in the fucking eye.
Poked me in the fucking eye.
And Sean still had like PTSD when I like start doing the Emma dance because he's like, you're gonna hit me.
Yeah. That's because he's poked me in my eye, like, you know.
Yeah, I poked you in the eye like a couple times doing
5-10
Emma's
minutes.
dance.
So, how did that involve Grandpa?
Not every story has to involve Grandpa. Grandpa took us up to Minnesota. That was the time that he fucking... Oh my god, that was the time that we got him in trouble with Grandma Uni because we had driven back home from Minnesota in one day. We made it to like whatever, Nebraska at like 3. We were like, Grandpa, do you think you can make it? And Grandpa was like, I think we can, sonnies. Like,
yeah, it was like 2 o'clock.
it was literally like 2 o'clock, and Grandpa was like, what do you think, boys? And I was like, I think we can keep going, depending on how you feel. And he was like, all right. And we kept going.
Yeah, Grandpa was a trucker.
Honestly, I feel like that was like, you could see when Grandpa got home and got in trouble with Grandma, he was like laughing and all smiling about it because it was like, I can still do it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Last time you guys went up to Minnesota?
Yeah, that might take a minute, but yeah.
Go ahead.
So, thankfully for me, I think, and gratefully, I was Grandpa's last Minnesota trip. Like, we're just up there by ourselves. And, like, I'll never forget, like, going there with him because, you know, everyone was like, you can't fall asleep, Sean, you can't fall asleep. And I was like, I know it. Like Grandpa would say.
You're like, yeah, I know.
I know it. And, I remember I almost fell asleep once. We were just leaving Denver too. Like we weren't even on the highway yet. And I was dozing off, and all of a sudden I felt. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. Ow.
And I looked at him, and it was like, "Don't you fall asleep on me now, Sonny." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then, I drank a Monster at one point on the way, and I was good to go. And we drove all the way. Well, we pretty much drove all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
We were like 20 minutes away from our aunt's house. We just stopped at the hotel so no one bitches at us.
Yeah.
Because Grandpa didn't want to get bitched at. But like, he
You guys were stopped at the hotel?
Yeah, we stopped at the hotel, and I'll never forget how, like, I was so happy. But like, we went fishing there by ourselves. Like, I remember I got the dirt bike all dirty one night. Well, one day, and he never told me we were going to town.
Yeah.
And it just rained the night before, so like all the fields were muddy and shit.
Oh, and so you were slushing around in the mud?
Yeah. And like,
is that the year after you broke your leg?
No. And
you've been up there since you broke your leg?
Yeah, like twice.
Oh.
Well, anyway, we Grandpa was like, I got back to the trailer, and Grandpa saw me, and he was like, Jesus Christ, we're going to town, damn it. And I was like, oh, you didn't tell me that. And I was like, Grandpa, it's just mud. And then like, he started laughing when I said that, and he was like, just go get changed, damn it. And I was like, yeah, we'll do. And then like, the fishing trip with him there, like, us going to go visit people, like, we were just going places for fun. Like, we went to this place called the Old Schoolhouse, and he was like, look at that girl's pooper. For some reason,
Grandpa's always called butts poopers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Instead of being like, check out that girl's ass, he'd be like, damn, she got a nice pooper.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's weird.
It's weird, but it's funny as fuck.
It's like, I don't want to be reminded what's coming out of there when I'm
looking at that ass. Grandpa would be like, look at that pooper.
I never heard him refer to a butt as a pooper. I guess I never looked at butts with Grandpa. So,
yeah.
But now whenever I think of an ass, I'm going to hear in the back of my head, look at that pooper. And I'm immediately going to be like, nope. Never mind.
And like, that was funny. And like, there's so many memories up there, but one that really sticks out was on the way back. We're driving back, and we're in Murdo, South Dakota. Where you remember the gas station with the car on the side or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there, and I got a Monster before we even got to Murdo, but Grandpa came out of the gas station with 2 Monsters, and I was like, huh? And he was like, here you go, Sonny. And I was like, what's this for? He was like, I thought you maybe wanted a drink. And I was like, and like, that was my big fear. I still had the fear at the time that if you drink one, you shouldn't drink another one because you could die or whatever. You know how like they said that when kids were little. I still had that fear when I shouldn't have, but I still had the fear, and I was like, Grandpa, I can't drink that right now. I was like, I might die. Like, I had one, and I was like, after you have one, you're supposed to like stop because like the sugar's in it. And he was like, oh, well, since I got 2 of them, one's for me, and like you said, they're supposed to give me some energy. So, so he drank it, and I was like, how you feeling? And he was like, I feel good. I feel the same. And I was like, damn. He just proved maybe to me that Monsters don't even help. They help me, but they don't help Grandpa. But how the fuck can coffee help but not a Monster? I'll never know.
Coffee's better for you. It's healthier.
True.
I totally just lied.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know if coffee's healthy for you.
You wanna go fishing, Sonny?
You wanna what?
You wanna what?
You wanna what?
Oh, I'll never forget the night when Jason decided.
Lights went out in Georgia.
I I'll never forget the night when you decided to drive out to Minnesota.
Oh my God, by myself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Grandpa was pissed at me.
He was
Pissed. I can't even imagine, like, all day as I'm driving up there, what Grandpa was, like, saying about me. And, like,
Oh,
how
fuck, it was
pissed
so
Grandpa was.
funny.
Oh, please, go ahead.
I remember he was like, "You better fucking turn around now, because if once he gets here, I'm gonna give him a fucking ass whooping." And I was like, "Grandpa," I was like, "He ain't turning around." I was like, because you know I just called you and I was telling you, I was like, you should turn around because Grandpa ain't too happy. And you were like, "I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, Geisha."
And yeah, we got some shit there, biker.
Anyway,
I'll never forget, like, he was like, "Ah, Jesus Christ, you motherfucker." Like, he was mad. Like, he never called you a motherfucker. I had that in. But anyway.
you called me a motherfucker.
But I was like, Grandpa, I was like, oh, well, by the time he went to bed, he was like, "I don't think Jason's coming now." Because, you know, it was getting late. It's like 12 o'clock in the morning. You call me and you were like, "I'm like down the street, but I don't know, but And I was like, okay. And I told Grandma that. Well, then you called me back and told me you ended up in the ditch. And I had to go wake up Grandpa, but I knew
I really should have been recording. That would have been epic if I had gotten myself going in the fucking ditch.
Yeah. But I told, you know, I knew when I told him that he was gonna be fucking pissed. Like, now that you're just here, but you fucking, like, crashed the Jeep.
I'm not just there. I have also crashed.
Yeah. So it's like, fuck. Like, Grandpa's gonna be so fucking
Thank God I was
mad.
literally, like, just the car over.
Yeah.
Just way over.
So I was like, oh, fuck. Here we go. Like, Grandpa's gonna be mad. Well,
Do you remember what Grandpa said when you woke him up?
I was like, Grandpa, Jason's, like, he says he's down the road somewhere and he crashed the Jeep. And I remember he looked at it, like, you know, he fucking flung his covers over. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit, Grandpa bad.
And, like, all I could remember, like, I think, not just because we're saying it a lot, I think all he said was, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Like, he was tired. But, like, he was mad, so, he wasn't like, "God, Jesus Christ," like he would be.
He was like tired. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I'll never forget when we were trying to find you, and, you know, I wanted to drive so fucking bad, but he wouldn't let me. And he was like, "You better find out where he is, Sonny." And I was like, okay, well then, you know, we turned the wrong way at first. And then I saw, like, your lights. And I was like, "Grandpa, we gotta turn around. He's that way."
Yeah.
Grandpa was like, "Yeah." And Grandpa turned around. And, like, we drove to you. And I swear on the God's green earth of Minnesota,
Oh, he should have killed me.
you got so goddamn lucky when that fucking train passed by and it was honking its horn. Because the only thing I remember of Grandpa saying something, he was like, "Fucking like, he said fuck." And that's all I remember because of the train.
I remember.
But it felt like we were in a movie scene.
Yeah. I remember because he started swearing and then the train.
Yeah.
I remember getting, like, Grandpa got out of the truck and you got out of the truck. And I remember thinking, like, Grandpa's gonna kill me. Like, Grandpa's gonna actually kill me. Like, I'm about to be thrown back in the ditch. Because I'm gonna be dead. Yeah, I thought Grandpa was going to kill me. And, like, I don't even think he was that mad. I don't remember him, like, yelling at me or anything like that. He was just kind of like, "Ah, Jesus Christ, look what the fuck you've done." And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I knew you should have turned around and went back to Colorado." And I was like, okay. Not okay, but I was like, I apologize. I should have, in hindsight.
Oh, yeah.
I should have probably done what you had told me to do, but I was stubborn. And he was just like, Jesus Christ. And I went to bed on the futon and everything. He wasn't like, I don't remember him being that mad.
He went to bed right away. He didn't even stay up. He was like, I'm coming to bed, damn it.
We'll deal with it tomorrow. And like, he went and got the car fixed relatively fast. Like,
he woke me up that morning to go get the fucking car. Like, he shook me and I was like, uh-huh. He was like, let's go get the Jeep, sonny.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, what the fuck happened?
There's a lot of popo
Yeah, what happened?
and a tow truck.
Oh, shit. Anyway.
But yeah.
Do you remember... Oh my god, I remember. This is such a random story. I remember I wanted to spend the night at Grandma Uni's and Grandpa Ken's, but like Mom wasn't gonna let me. She was like, no, you're not spending the night over there. And I'm like, yeah, Mom or Dad wasn't gonna let me. So I was being stubborn and I sat in my bedroom there and I was like, no, I'm staying. You can't make me. And Dad tried to drag me off the bed. And Grandpa came in and like pulled Dad off of me and was like, what the fuck you think you're doing? Touching him like that type deal. Like, Dad was like pulling me off the bed and like, stop being nosy.
Bro, I hear a helicopter. Maybe it's a police.
And so he was basically like, don't fucking grab him. Like, if he wants to stay, let him fucking stay. And I remember Dad shoving Grandpa. And then Grandma getting in the middle, and Grandpa shoving like Dad back, and Grandma was like in the middle of these two. And I remember watching them like, oh shit, Dad's about to get his ass beat.
Yeah, Grandpa was old, but he fucking was like,
Scrapper.
you want it, young whippersnapper.
Oh, I remember the time when I cheap shot at Dad.
Yeah.
That one time, I walked upstairs and I told Grandpa what happened, and he just kind of looked at me and was like, well, Sonny.
Talking about that fight.
He didn't say anything to me. I don't want to make something up, but I told him what happened, and you want to know what he did? He just kind of smiled. He smiled and laughed, and I was like, Grandpa, what's so funny? And he goes, like he does a little hand thing that he used to.
I'll never forget that day either, because when Dad came upstairs chasing me, Grandpa got in the middle and looked at Dad and said, if I wasn't standing here right now, Scott, he'd probably kick your goddamn ass.
Oh yeah, you would kick Dad's ass in a heartbeat.
Grandpa was like, don't you fuck with him. It was so funny.
Yeah, and then I told Grandpa what happened, and Grandpa just silently was like, yeah, I take your side.
Yeah.
Which was pretty great.
Oh, that shit was funny. Don't you...
Well, anyway. Our grandpa taught us a lot of things.
Fuck yeah.
Taught my brother how to be a man.
Amen.
Taught me how to be a woman.
Not really.
But, you know. Taught my brother how to be a man. Was a dad for my brother when our true dad wasn't present. And taught me what I should look for in a dude, I guess. Anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you like, comment, share this with your friends. Subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single day.
What?
And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.